for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13-blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
Hi, I'm John Annis from North Star Financial. Many financial advisors just want to work with doctors and lawyers, not at North Star Financial. We know that guys who can swing a hammer or weld a seam don't just do honorable work, they have careers to be proud of. So whether your workwear is surgical scrubs, wingtips and loafers, or boots and jeans, we'd love to say hello. And if you come in with a little mud on your boots, we don't mind. We're North Star Financial, the financial advisor for the rest of us.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:06 in the afternoon on this mild but a little foggy Tuesday. Although the fog is starting to lift, temperatures right now, depending where you're at, generally the low to mid-30s in the valley and into Lakes country, but out to the west of the valley, temperatures already approaching 40 degrees where there's been a little more sunshine. And we're starting to see that fog lift as winds turn to the southwest. And once we get those southwest winds blowing here this afternoon, we will start to see that not only the fog lift, but we'll see the clouds kind of thin out and we'll see a little more sunshine as we head into the afternoon today. It's a mild day, not record-setting today, but still
not today
on the mild side. But as we head into tomorrow, that's when we're going to see records fall. In fact, they're going to tumble across most of the area with highs tomorrow from the valley westward about 50 or a little bit higher than that. East of the valley, probably still mid-upper 40s. So, I mean, a really, really nice-looking forecast.
You know, I was going to say that's super cool. I went thinking about when the last time we had a 50-degree day was, but it really hasn't been that long. Because we hit 63 in December. Yeah, so we were in the 60s for a day in December. I think we had a couple of days near 50, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, that's nice. And the above-average temperatures are going to be continuing with temperatures for the most part upper 30s to mid-40s all the way through the rest of the week and into next week as well. A couple chances for a few light scattered showers on Saturday and Sunday, and outside of that, things are looking pretty quiet over the next week until we head towards the end of the following week where we're keeping an eye on a potential storm system. That does happen to line with our LRC calendar on our website, WDAYradionow.com. You can head over there, take a look at that if you'd like to. Just click on the Weather tab. And if you have any questions on the LRC, the weather, or anything, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Or emails weather@flagfamily.com, as well as those live comment boxes on Facebook and YouTube Live. You can still use Bridgette's personal phone number as well. She's not here today, but I'm sure she would love the feedback on how we're doing.
Yeah, last time we were at 50 or warmer, December 7th. December 7th was the last time we were at 50 or higher.
And that was that the day we hit 60?
That was 62. 62.
And before that, when was the last 50-degree day? I don't know if you have that off the top of your head.
The day before that.
Really?
December 6th.
Oh, all right. So the 6th and 7th. So it's been, what, like 6 weeks since we were in the 50s?
Yeah.
Give or take a bit. Well, 7 weeks.
Yeah, 7 weeks since we've been in the 50s. So pretty wild. I mean,
that's pretty crazy.
Well, we shouldn't be having 50-degree temperatures at the end of
What are you
January.
talking about? Of course we should be having 50-degree days at the end of January.
Yeah, so it's been a while, and we'll take it. Not great news for our ice anglers out there with the mild weather. But like we were saying, hang tight. After about the 8th, 9th of the month of February, we will start to turn a little bit cooler, if you will. I don't see Arctic like we had in January, but even if it's back down into normal range, right around 20 degrees, it's going to kind of be a shock to the system, that's for sure.
A little bit. A nice little 30-degree drop.
What else do you have?
Keep an eye on. What else do I have?
Did you talk about the LRC storm for next week?
We touched on that a little bit. Do you want to go a little more into it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, we've had this marked on our calendar for a month and a half now when we
we published the calendar together, but the initial forecast was put together at the beginning of December.
Right. And this system coming at us next week is the same system that hit us over Christmas. And we all know what it did here, mainly rain, but a big ice storm developed out to our west. And this is the same system cycling back roughly 45, 46 days later. And our model's just starting to kind of get a glimpse of it right now. Still not in great agreement, which is expected. It's 10 days away, and the models are usually all over the place. But we had it on our radar well before that, so something to look forward to or not look forward to. But if you have any travel plans late next week, that's that Christmas storm that cycled through here on our last LRC cycle.
Right. From cycle to cycle, it doesn't mean the exact outcome is going to repeat itself. We're just watching for another storm that just so happened to came through over Christmas time period. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an ice storm, but there will be a probability that it could be rain turning over to snow. Again, if you want to call into the program, the Red Wing Shoes phone line's open. I got 3 open lines right now. That's 701-293-9000. We're going to bring Matthew into the show. And Matthew, thanks for giving us a call. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little update on Lakes Country because it's been interesting watching the last few days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys realized out here on Saturday it was way above normal. It was 47. Where it was funny because I looked at the weather in the cities and the temp differential was quite large. It was only 32 in the cities on Saturday, but 47 here out of Lakes Country. But the thing I wanted to mention was I'm on the lake. I'm on Lake Lida, and all of the fish houses started pulling over the weekend, and we probably had in the bay where I'm at about 200. It was quite a few, and I noticed trailers just going by left and right. And then I looked out there yesterday during lunch, and there was just maybe a quarter to maybe a little bit less of that left. And then today, nothing. And we were also one, if you guys have heard, they pull a bar out on our lake. It's called the Ice House or Ice Hole Bar.
Mm-hmm. Heard all about it.
Billy's and Earhart. Yep, they pulled that yesterday too.
Oh no!
Right now, there's about maybe a half dozen at the most out there. And the interesting thing with today too is with all the melting, there was never a lot of snow out there, but there's no snow out there. It looks like black ice right now, like the ice is about ready to go, which obviously it's not. But
and
Matt,
Matt,
think about
Matt, how thick is I don't know if you've been out there to drill or measure. How thick is the ice out there that you've heard?
Yeah, so I had heard, so when they put that bar out, it was only like a week ago. They've only been out there for 2 weekends. And when they put it out, they posted that it was 16, which I got to think it has to be more than that because the amount of Super Duty trucks pulling huge trailers out there, I mean, just the weight of those, I would think it'd be a little more. But I'm just looking forward, when you look at you guys are talking about the storm next week. Well, Tuesday out here, they're forecasting rain. So you get all these warm temps plus sun tomorrow shooting through the ice, plus rain. I mean, this ice is going to – I don't know if you're even with some colder weather, unless it's a cold snap like we had, that it's going to come back.
Yeah, well,
I don't see how it could.
Yeah, I think Bridgette was saying because we were talking about agronomy on ice next month.
They had 22 on the bay.
Was it 22?
On Devils, at least the specific bay.
Man.
Be interesting to see what it's at now. Because you said it was about 16. So what would you say now have you heard as recent reports? What does it drop down to?
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
But again, just based on everybody pulling their ice houses, I mean, I think, there's a combination there, right? I mean, they don't want them to melt in. That's probably why they pulled the bar and the other stuff. But, where it melts and freezes in, you're chipping it out and, big hassle. But, I mean, I got to think some of this is just because of the thickness, too. I know that the landing area, the main landing, which I'm also by, it's just like a little lake down there by itself. I guess it's been really hard to get in and out.
Man, what was it last year at this time? Do you know, Matt? About 20 plus inches, I'm guessing? Had to be.
34.
Oh, my gosh, at least that. And, I mean, same thing, few hundred ice houses. The bar was out there forever. It was, and massive amounts of snow, too, right?
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I can totally see it. If the ice is decreasing fairly quickly and it's 40s through the next 7 to 10 days, overnight lows. I mean, even on the cold spots, it only looks like it's only be dropping into the mid-20s, which isn't great ice building conditions. You had a few light scattered showers on Saturday, Sunday, a couple next week. Yeah, that ice is going to go really fast, so I'm sure it's a lot of people doing precautious stuff.
Well, and even the WDAY TV weather app, so like I said, it has rain on Tuesday, but then even the Thursday, it's got rain snow mix. And again, any of that really wet precipitation is just going to help melt this. So my prediction is I think they're kind of done. And I mean, done for vehicles. I mean, there's some out there today, but a week from now, I think they're done. And my larger prediction is, and again, I realize we're going to have more cold and, maybe some snows, but I think that we're going to have ice out this year in March. Might be at the end, but it'll be in March.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say? What's normal for you?
May. Sometimes early May.
Yeah, I mean, like last year was literally right before Memorial. I mean, I remember just having them rush to get our dock in, which was like a week before Memorial. So they made it for like the opener, but I mean, barely.
Wow, very interesting. Well, thanks for calling in, Matt. Appreciate that.
Hey, Matt, we got something for you.
Sure.
There you go, buddy.
I like to scream and go, and I wonder why the show wasn't opened without it. I mean, usually it runs out of control when Bridgette's not around, and it was just all like, like a library.
Yeah, we got a bark collar on it today.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Take
Matt.
it easy, Matt.
All right, it's time for the American Ag Network, and when we come back, we've got 3 guests in the house today. You want to introduce them?
Well, we got Gene and Jim will be joining us, and I believe we do not. We only have 2 guests for today.
Okay, I thought we had a third one joining us here.
Nope.
I thought Bridget tried to throw a curveball at us.
Bridget throws curveballs at us all the time. Let's see if they catch this one. I'm going to... But they're North Dakota Soybean Growers Association. We'll be talking to them a little bit about that, and there's... an upcoming expo, so we're going to find out all about that and everything else around soybeans. And if you want to join in on the conversation, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Again, that's 701-293-9000. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Livestock market is mostly higher, led by feeders. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. The live cattle complex is the most cautious livestock market heading into this afternoon. All the contracts are trading higher except April and June 2024 contracts, but the rest are trading mildly higher. Traders have largely accepted that tomorrow's cattle inventory report will likely be supportive long-term for the market, but given that it's a big hitting report, there is still some hesitancy throughout the marketplace. No cash cattle trade has been reported, and trade is likely delayed until tomorrow or Thursday. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down 96 and select up 38 with a movement of 70 loads. Now, even though corn prices are higher today, feeders are living up to the old saying, feeders are the leaders, as feeder cattle contracts are trading anywhere from $1 to $2.15 higher. The market grew cold ahead of yesterday's close, and both the live cattle and feeder cattle contracts closed lower, which was likely a knee-jerk reaction from traders as they are aware of tomorrow's cattle inventory report, which could be the big market influencer. It's also likely that traders were pleased to see continued feeder cattle demand in sale barns on Monday, as the CME feeder cattle index closed 209 higher at 234.15. We're going to look at the market numbers next year, listening to the American Ag Network.
When it comes to cereal disease protection, Prosaro Pro 400 SC fungicide from Bayer makes all the difference. With 3 effective active ingredients for overlapping control of foliar and head diseases, and a flexible application window for head scab, it's formulated to lower DON, protect yield potential, and promote superior grain quality. Prosaro Pro, the future of plant health, starts here. Visit ProsaroPro.com to learn more. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Trains are everywhere. You should always expect one, even on private property. Only cross tracks at designated crossings that fit your equipment. If you don't fit, don't commit. Whenever you're operating, secure your load, raise your equipment, and avoid getting stuck or causing damage. Minimize distractions. Remember, noisy equipment drowns out the sound of a train. Unless you're crossing, always keep a safe distance from train tracks. Look, listen, live. For more info, go to oli.org.
Look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle February up 57 at 177.95. April up 47 at 181.70. June up 57 at 179.05. And the August live cattle, they're up 52 at 178.72. Feeders, March up 252 at 241.15. April up 215 at 246.75. Lean hogs, February up 65 at 75.92. April up 185 at 85.27. And the May lean hogs, they're up 120 at 89.25. Quick check on the grains here. March corn is up 5.5 at 445 3/4, with May up 6 1/4 at 456 3/4. The Dow right now is up about 90 points. The dollar sits at 103.3, with crude oil trading up a bit over a buck at just over $78 a barrel. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Yeah, welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. We're throwing the whole barn out to the opening of this segment. And again, if you want to call in and join this conversation, 701-293-9000. We have Gene Henning and Jim Thompson. We're going to be talking about the Corn Soybean Expo that's coming up. Gene is the executive director of the North Dakota Corn Council. Correct, Gene?
That is correct.
Awesome. And Jim, you are a soybean grower for the Soybean Council representing Cass County, correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. So why don't we start off with you, Gene? Tell me a little bit about what the North Dakota Corn Council is and then the role that you hold with them.
All right. So the North Dakota Corn Council administers the corn checkoff in North Dakota. We are established by law. The assessment is 1/4 of the value of all corn sold, and our job then is to take those funds, invest them in research, education, promotion, policy, and market development. And so we're very active in, of course, ethanol promotions. We're very active in trade and research at both UND and NDSU. So that's our job. I hold the position of executive director of the council. I'm the lead staff person. So that's that. I work for a board of 7. The board administers the checkoff, and I help them basically put into action their decisions.
I see. And I got a question that just came off the mind when you were talking about corn checkoff. And when you explained what that was. And we've had a couple of people that have called in or sent in comments about soybean checkoff dollars, and that they feel that there should be an option for them to opt out of that, or they're not in full support of the checkoffs program. What would you say to someone who kind of feels that way, or why is the checkoff so important?
I think the checkoff is extremely important because it really is the mechanism to move the industry. And so if we want to move this industry forward, the way to do it is through investments. And it's when you look at the value of the checkoff itself to an individual producer, it's pretty small dollars. It's 1 penny. If corn were $4, it's 1 penny per bushel. But when you can take all those pennies and put them together, you are able to do amazing work. You're able to invest in export organizations that bring trade teams to North Dakota and see what's going on in our farms, see our ethanol plant, so they have an understanding of what we do here in the state, what our industry looks like, and then hopefully they're going to purchase based on the relationships that they've built with us and the relationships that they've built with our processing facilities. And so very critical and very important to have that investment mechanism to help grow the industry. Otherwise, we're all just taking care of ourselves, and and it just we're not looking out for the bigger picture.
Right. And I don't mean to throw you on the spot by this question, but over the past even a decade or two, what has come of the checkoff dollars, if I'm saying that right? What has changed between so many years ago to today that the checkoff is responsible for?
I can only speak for corn, but to be honest, if you look back at the ethanol industry, the ethanol industry came out of checkoff-funded research. And when you're looking at an entire industry that is built around off of checkoff dollars, checkoff-funded research, that's huge. And we're continuing to invest in new opportunities like ethanol. Now we're looking at sustainable aviation fuel, things that are really going to create a market for our farmers down the road.
That's awesome. Let's switch it over to Jim now. We feel like we're leaving Jim out of this. So, Jim, you're with the Soybean Growers Association. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm with the Soybean Council.
Sorry, Council. Okay.
That's okay.
Right.
So much the same as the Corn Council, we are tasked with managing the checkoff side for soybeans. So 1/2 of 1% of the value of a soybean We are left to kick up to the USB, our national organization that oversees us, and we administer the rest in state through market development, research, outreach, and education. So we're looking to spend these checkoff dollars in the best efficient way possible to benefit all soybean growers in North Dakota.
And how long have you been with the organization?
So I'm at the end of my first 3-year term, seeking my second 3-year term.
Excellent.
Okay, so these spots are, you're voted into these positions or nominated, is that correct?
Correct.
I see, okay. So then you represent Cass County. Does every county has a representative then, and how do you represent the county as a whole when it comes to the council?
So we do have county reps across the state. The Soybean Council is made up of 12 districts. So geographically, we try to group districts together by the amount of acres or soybeans grown, and then divvy that up. And so that's the 12 positions.
I see.
And Jim and Gene, we're going to throw the same question out to both of you. What are the biggest advancements you think need to happen over the next 10 years? Gene, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can start. I think what we are seeing from the corn industry is that there's so much focus on carbon sequestration at our ethanol plants, on farm carbon sequestration through practices, through no-till and change of practices, on-farm practices. And so what we're seeing is that energy sphere, right? Ethanol. What is the future of ethanol going to be? And there's a I mentioned sustainable aviation fuel. That is a reality. That is happening. And so currently, for instance, there's an ethanol plant, or there's a sustainable aviation fuel plant, refinery in Georgia that just opened, and they are importing Brazilian ethanol because Brazilian ethanol has a 0 CI score. And so those kinds of technological, like the advancements that you're talking about, are going to have to come from the United States, from our industries, to show that we are doing sustainable practices and that we can continue to grow our crops sustainably, and that we have a CI score that will be beneficial to the airline industry that is looking to lower their CI scores. So this is yes.
Why is Brazil so far ahead of us?
Because they use sugarcane ethanol, not corn. Corn has a land use change. They use sugarcane. It's considered cellulosic ethanol. And they also, which is very interesting, they power their plants with biomass. So they actually use eucalyptus leaves to burn to power their plants. And so when they're using biomass to power, and when they're using cellulose to make the ethanol, not a kernel, not starch from the kernel, they have a much lower CI score. And so it's very important to the industry and to farmers and agriculture in general that we continue to show sustainable practices, that we continue to show and get the modeling correct. So a lot of this is modeling that comes out of our national labs, like Argonne National Labs. It's important that we get that modeling correct, and that we show how our farmers are sustainable on farm, the practices that they're doing, and that they get credit for those practices.
Right. And Jim?
So I'll bring it down to a state level. She did a great job of explaining on the national level. What we're dealing with here in North Dakota now is most of our soybeans, whole soybeans, were exported out of the state. Now we're looking at the fact that with two crush plants coming on, as well as possibly a third one in Grand Forks, over half of the soybeans in North Dakota are going to stay in state and be crushed into oil and meal. So now we're tasked with the challenge of what do we do with all that meal? We could export it all out of state. It's going to go out at a discount. It's not exactly the easiest byproduct to move, but if we could somehow generate that usage into animal agriculture and put that meal into the animal egg, get that enhanced usage of it and value added export of the animal. The sky's the limit for us, because driving is the energy sector. The crush plant and Spiritwood, all that oil is going right out to Marathon and Dickinson. So the oil used to be, well, what do we do with the oil? We know what we're going to do with the oil.
Right.
Now it's, what are we going to do with all this meal? So in the next 10 years, we're going to have a great challenge of how we're going to handle all that.
Right. And with these crush plants, the two that are coming online, the third one that's being talked about in discussions up in Grand Forks, the significance of that to soybean growers here in eastern North Dakota, what's the big benefit of having those more local opportunities for them versus what they have been doing for the past however many years?
Sure. So the big opportunity obviously is an additional market.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring another market into the marketplace, that just drives up competition. So we're still going to have a lot of whole beans exiting the state to the PNW because we're good at it, we're efficient at it. We can get the trains out to the PNW, the beans loaded, headed over, to Asian markets, get the boats back, get them filled up again. We can do that quickly and very easily. But now we're also going to have the crush plants that are going to be bidding for those whole beans as well. So it's going to be just depending on your situation. If you're able to deliver at harvest, or if you're able to store the soybeans, you'll be able to find a market that wants your beans.
Right, and I would imagine eventually that would lead into even better prices. If there's more competition, someone's going to want to pay a little bit more to get their demand filled over someone else's.
And that is the biggest question that we get asked right away is with the crush plants coming in. Am I going to get more for my beans?
Mm-hmm.
How much? I couldn't tell you that. But additional markets usually help that factor out.
Right.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, we got to take a quick moment here to hit bottom of the hour news. Again, we're speaking with Gene Henning and Jim Thompson. Gene is the executive director of the North Dakota Corn Council, and Jim Thompson is a soybean grower on the Soybean Council, representative of Cass County. If you want to join in on our conversations, ask some questions about corn or soybeans, feel free to do so. Give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Email is weather@flagfamily.com, and don't forget to let Mom know how we're doing. You can text Bridgette on her personal phone number. We'll be right back after bottom of the hour news.
You can always count on Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Always crisp, always easy drinking, always just right. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment since 1903. Welcome to the High Life. 2019 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. One person was arrested after the Red River Valley SWAT team, Fargo Police, and the Metro Street Crimes Unit carried out a high-risk search warrant yesterday afternoon. It happened around 3 o'clock in the 600 block of 11th Street North. The person arrested was wanted for an armed robbery that happened earlier in the day in the 1500 block of South University Drive. 34-year-old Claudio DeGalato of Fargo was arrested on armed robbery and burglary charges. Governor Burgum has requested a presidential major disaster declaration for severe ice storm damage. That ice storm hit over the Christmas holiday, bringing down trees and causing major damage to power lines and poles across North Dakota. North Dakota gubernatorial candidate and Representative Kelly Armstrong says government should be as lean and mean as possible.
We always have to be able to look at it and say, are we spending each and every dollar as efficiently for the taxpayer as possible?
And the Minnesota State Patrol has identified the two men killed in a crash on Highway 9 near Barnesville early Sunday. They were 28-year-old Isaac Schultz of Fergus Falls and 28-year-old James Morick of Barnesville. Troopers say Schultz was the driver. There are no details yet on what caused that crash. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
This Giving Hearts Day, donate to Fraser. Fraser is the longest-serving nonprofit organization in North Dakota and continues to meet the needs of children, youth, and adults in Fargo and surrounding areas. Fraser has grown significantly to include independent living support, residential and day support services for people with disabilities. This year's donations will be matched up to $125,000. There's no need to wait until Giving Hearts Day. Go to givingheartsday.org and select Fraser to give your donation today. Fraser, helping children, youth, and adults since 1893.
It's the Coffee Club with Janae and Ronnie.
The car's gone wild.
If you ask, I was going to say, if you end up asking to see somebody's camshaft, you're going to get smacked. So, yeah.
They don't do it on a hot day.
Right.
There's no leather seats out there.
Yes, exactly.
I can't even talk right now. Your face is completely red from how hard you were laughing.
The Coffee Club, weekdays 8:30 to 11 on AM 970 and 93.1 FM WDAY.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Also, the zoo, and we're letting all the barn animals out to play today. And if you want to join in on the fun, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. We're speaking with Gene Henning, Executive Director of the North Dakota Corn Council, and Jim Thompson, a grower and on the Soybean Council. And if you want to ask them either question, feel free to do so. We're going to switch over to, you guys got an expo that's coming up, and that's the Corn and Soybean, or Soybean and Corn Expo, coming up on February 6th, so just a few days away. Gene, do you want to tell us a little bit about what that is? And then Jim, also what you're going to be involved in with it as well?
So next Tuesday, February 6th, 2024, we have a brand new location for the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo. It's going to take place at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in the Butler Arena. Registration is going to open at 7 a.m. and our first speaker starts at 8 a.m. So you can come on in, 7 a.m., get some breakfast. 8 a.m. our program is going to start. And so big day. We've got a number of different topics that we're going to talk about. I don't know if you want to talk to me about that, or we should move it on over to Jim.
Sure. Jim, you want to take over from there?
Well, sure. One of our first speakers is going to be Peter Zayan, and he's a geopolitical expert. And as you know, in agriculture, we deal with a lot of different issues, weather being one of the top ones, but also anything in the world geopolitically can affect us. And so he's got a lot of good insight and very credible. So he'd be a speaker really worth listening to for anybody in our industry. And then it seems like in agriculture every year we're fighting harder and harder to deliver the message of what we do and how we do it. And Brandy Buzzard is someone that really has kind of taken that under her wing and wants to let everybody know that what we do is important, what we do is vital to America, and she really champions our cause. So, and then one thing that everyone always wants to know is where are we going, in ag? And so we have a corn and soybean trade outlook with Roz Leek from the U.S. Soybean Export Council and Carrie Siferath for the U.S. Grains Council. So it's just to get some insight on where our industry is going and what we can expect. I'll toss it back over to Jean if she wants.
Yeah, sure. And then we have another panel on priority policy issues for corn and soybeans. Christy Seifert from the American Soybean Association, Wayne Stoskroff from the North National Corn Growers Association will be here. They're going to have expo attendees. We'll hear from national experts who are working on the front lines to advocate for farmers in D.C. So if you have any questions regarding Farm Bill, that's the panel that is going to focus on Farm Bill. And so there'll be a lot of questions regarding that, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to have our national perspectives on corn and soybean checkoff. So really where we work with the North Dakota Corn Council and the Soybean Council talking about the value to our national partners of these state checkoffs. And so they're going to discuss the priorities at a national level for those checkoff dollars. And then, of course, we always have to have weather. It is always on the mind of farmers. And so we're going to do a weather outlook with Mark Ewan's Home on the Prairie Weather Outlook. He's just going to discuss weather patterns and how they can affect agriculture. And then he used to work for the
National Weather Service?
National Weather Service, correct.
Okay.
And then he's also going to talk a little bit about what we can expect next year, actually this year now, for the spring planting and our growing season coming up.
Very interesting. That'll be
Yeah. And then a part of that also is that we're going to have a research pavilion, which is going to have our researchers that we work with at NDSU, and they're going to be over there for farmers to have one-on-one conversations. This is going to be conversations about soil health, if they have questions about that, if they have questions about pests or any kind of diseases that they're seeing in the field, they can talk to researchers that are working in that field. And so that's been a very popular booth for us in the past. It's a way that we can show farmers what we're doing, the different research projects that we're funding, and then they can also see and meet those individual researchers to get their questions answered personally. So I'm going to toss it back on over. Jim.
I would encourage guys, if they're farmers, anybody who wants to attend, pre-registration is really encouraged, and that would be at northerncornsoyexpo.com. So, and I don't know what else is going on at the Fargo Dome that day, but don't show up there. come to the fairgrounds.
So I'm guessing the dome was where the expo was originally.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. We're excited for the new venue, so it should be good.
And this is open to the public, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Free event? Just
Free
have to
event.
register? Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Breakfast will be served. Lunch will be served. Bring your family. Do not come in your own car. Bring a carload of people.
Yeah.
Bring them.
Bring everybody.
Yes.
And how has this event been in years past? Good turnout, a lot of fun, excitement coming out of it.
Yeah, we've had great turnout. We've had a couple years where we've been a little hampered by the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we're expecting a very good turnout because of these 40-degree days that we're having this winter. But
everyone's going to want to get out and enjoy a little sun and 40s.
You're hitting it right before that possible storm by the end of next week, so that's good timing.
We're lucky.
That's good timing, no doubt about it. Let's turn the page here real quick, and I want to talk, and because when it comes to long-term forecasting, we use what's called the LRC, and it's been 70% plus accurate 6 months in advance, and I know the last couple of summers or springs, I should say, it's been a late plant season. This year looks to be totally different. I would not be surprised to see our ag community out there. I hate to say the end of March, but definitely, I would say definitely early April, if not shortly after that. And some will be out in the field in March. If, in fact, we do get an early start to the season, how much does that benefit our area, both in terms of soybeans and corn?
It's a huge benefit from a grower's standpoint, just because you get to spread that workload out over more days instead of being so cramped.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you've already made your seed choices and you've got a little bit longer maturity corn or soybeans, you don't feel bad about putting those in earlier the better.
Right.
Less switching on the fly like we've had to do in the past. Also for our ag retailers, as far as getting fertilizer on, they have a larger window to do that, so that reduces stress for those guys as well. It just everything is, you can take a little bit of a deeper breath and a longer step and not be so hurried, which from a result standpoint is great, from a safety standpoint is great. It's
stress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a big deal.
It's a win-win.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's very, very great. And if people wanted to get more information again about the expo that's coming up here in just a week away from today, give or take, this time next week, where could people again go to get that information, see what the agenda is going to be like, be able to register, all those different things?
You can register and learn more at northerncornsoyexpo.com, all one word.
Awesome. And any last minute things you'd want anyone to know about it, or anything else going on with the councils, whether it's corn or soybean?
I would say just come on out. Peter Zion is a very popular author. We've had a lot of inquiry into him, and what he is going to talk about is kind of a futuristic. He'll give his predictions, which is kind of interesting, but he's got a number of books out there. So come on out. It's a free event. The weather's going to be great. We'd love to have as many people there as possible.
Awesome.
There's going to be a lot of sponsors there in our trade show area, so come out and support those people too, and drop by the booth, say hi on breaks, and make some connections, and I look forward to seeing everybody out there.
Now, if somebody forgets to register online, can they just show up? Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
Just show up to the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's fine. Registration just helps us have everything in place, and you'll get in through the line a little faster.
And remember, it's at the fairgrounds this year.
Yes.
Don't go to the dome.
Right.
The Butler Arena at the fairgrounds.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, we got a short break coming up here. When we come back, another check on the forecast and a little more fun.
I think we're going to give something away, aren't
Are
we?
we going to what? Another thing?
I think we'll give away a rain gauge.
Oh. All right. All that and more when we come back.
They'll have you laughing right along with them. They're Bonnie and Friends.
Big game James McCarty, enjoying my birthday double-decker birthday cake. Put that fork down. You got some sports to do, guy. Hi.
Hold on. Oh, now you can speak. Why can't you get a mic on like Bonnie does?
Thank
you were in the middle of eating. Ridiculous.
Thank you, James.
I'm over here trying to make jokes, and you just won't even turn on the mic because you don't want me to date you. I've heard your You've jokes expired, before. believe it or not. You're sour.
Bonnie and Friends. Catch them weekday mornings beginning at 5.
I I absolutely love my white goose down blanket because it has superior insulating power because it is goose.
Well, it is. And, I, for Christmas, had gotten a 6-piece towel set, and we've got extra people being in the house for the holidays. So the towels are needed. I got my stepson a terry cloth robe. I mean, you too can get fantastic stuff at mypillow.com. Just click on the radio listener square using promo code WDAY and save big.
Other great specials including the Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows. They have the best sheets ever, my slippers in different styles, and also the My Pillow 2.0, all available at mypillow.com using the promo code WDAY.
Or call 800-875-0644. That's 1-800-875-0644 and enter promo code WDAY to save big on your holiday deals at mypillow.com.
Kick off your new year with a new job with a company that is family-oriented and offers great pay and benefits and room to grow your career. Plains Grain and Agronomy is hiring immediately for grain sampling, custom applicator, Class A truck driver, and general laborers. Plains Grain and Agronomy looks forward to visiting with you. Apply online at plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:56. It's Tuesday, right? Last check. It's 1:46. What did I say? Oh,
man. Storm.
Show's not. I told you, dude.
You didn't get a lot of sleep yesterday, did you?
I got sleep, but today is just an off day. And even here on my sheet, remember when I was telling you I'm spelling every other word wrong?
You always spell stuff wrong.
See how I spelled check? Instead of CH, it's CK. I'm literally having like a stroke today or something.
Yeah. Well, be careful.
I shouldn't be driving after the show. Anyways, we got fun things in store for the last segment of our show. We got another check on the forecast, and also we're going to be doing a little giveaway.
Let's do a real quick run of the forecast here. We're starting to see the fog, at least here in the FM area, start to lift a little bit. Winds have just turned to the southwest, and we're going to see slow clear. Don't look for a lot of sunshine today from the valley eastward. West of the valley, you're already seeing sunshine. I do think after about 3 o'clock, we'll start to see a few more peaks of sunshine here in the FM area, allowing us to get up close to 40. A little warmer than that to the west, a little cooler than that to the east. Record warm temperatures tomorrow with highs.
Just say record heat.
No, record warm. It's not heat.
Record heat.
Record warm.
It's 50 in January.
It's not. That's not.
It should be
hotter
18.
Heat. Man, what can I get to throw at you?
There's a box of tissues over there. Maybe
I was
it'll
thinking
fix
something
whatever's
harder.
logged in my head here.
I guess so. Record warm temperatures tomorrow, right around 50 degrees. And then we stay above normal all the way through the upcoming weekend before, again, we'll be keeping an eye on that LRC storm for late next week. Now, we haven't given away a productive alternative rain gauge in a while, have we?
I guess it's been a good minute.
All right. So
maybe two.
We're going to play that all fun game.
Guess the sound.
Guess the sound.
All right. For one rain gauge, can you guess what this sound is?
Good luck. 701-293-9000 on our Red Wing Shoes hotline. Guess this sound.
And for anyone who's wondering where we get these sounds from, I just find the closest person to me, and out of nowhere, give me uncommon
an
animal. And it takes them a moment, but they eventually come up with something.
So, again, for a free, productive alternative rain gauge, and again, you can't have won something over the last 30 days from us, and yes, we do have a list.
And caller ID.
Yeah, so, again, name this animal. Good luck. All right.
Very good luck.
I believe we have a caller on line one.
We do. Brenda, welcome to the show. How's your day going?
Going good.
Do you think you know what that sound was?
The dog?
It is not a dog, but that was my first guess when I heard it.
Yeah.
It is not a dog, but great guess. Call again. Try again, Brenda. Oh, that is great. What do we got here? It really does sound like a little puppy.
All right. And we got another caller. Coming in here.
Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Sandra?
Sandra. Do you know what that sound was or an idea?
Is it a chick?
A what?
A little barnyard chick?
It is not a chick, but good guess. Thanks for calling, Sandra.
It's bigger than that.
It is bigger than that.
That's one of the only clues you'll get if we don't have it.
We might have to carry this over to another day if we don't give it away today.
Or we could give more hints.
We could give more hints.
Yeah.
I know how much you love giving hints.
Well, we love giving stuff away, especially
those
when
are
it's the
expensive
bosses.
things. People need to earn them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And here's the catch, though. If you do win one of our productive alternative rain gauges, and again, you can get these down in Fergus as well. You could leave these things out all winter. They don't crack, break, anything like that. When we do get rain, we always would appreciate if you would report how much rain you got wherever you're at, whoever won it, and then we pass that information along to the National Weather Service. It helps their archive.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Lori?
Lori. Do you think you know what that was?
Is it a goat?
It is not a goat, but that's actually a good guess.
Yeah,
that is a good guess. Thanks for calling,
not a bad
Lori.
one.
Appreciate it. Try again. That is, for the amount of goats that we have on the show, I'm surprised that wasn't one as like the first guess. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
This is Byron.
Byron.
Hey, Byron.
How are you doing today?
Hey, pretty good, Dean. How are you?
Good, man.
Hey, I'm guessing it maybe is a llama.
It is not a llama.
Smaller than a llama. So it's small. It's smaller than a llama and bigger than a chick.
Yes.
A barnyard chick.
Do we give one more hint?
Nope.
All right, we'll hold off on that.
All right, 701-293-9000. Again, 701-293-9000.
Can you guess what that sound was for a productive alternative rain gauge?
I'll give you a hint. That sound is absolutely hurting my ears.
Indeed. Hi there, Lori. You got another guess?
I'm waiting on the hint.
No, I just said the sound is hurting my ears.
Oh, I was going to guess guinea pig.
It is not a guinea pig. But thanks for calling again, Lori.
It's not in the guinea pig family, is it? I don't think it is.
No, I'm pretty sure that it is not.
Okay.
Hi there, caller. What's your name?
It's Jerry.
Jerry. You think you know what that is?
Baby fox.
It is not a baby fox, but we're staying on local animals, and I like that. It is not a tropical animal. There's your other hint. Thanks for calling, Jerry.
Well, this certainly is not a local animal.
They're around here.
No, they're not. All right, I have to Google.
They're around here.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Maybe more Minnesota than North Dakota, but they're up here. Man, you did grow up in Chicago. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Terry. Is it a rabbit?
It is not a rabbit, but good guess. Thanks for calling, Terry. Try again. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Roger.
Roger. Do you think you know what that sound was?
Porcupine?
It is a porcupine. Good guess.
No way.
How'd you know that?
I Googled it.
What do you Google? The noise? Google, what is this noise?
Yeah, no.
Well, that's one way. That's one way to win.
Right.
What'd you do? Just hold. I don't even want to ask you because then you're going to ruin it for
Yeah,
down the road.
I Googled animals that make a baby noise.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, well, that's creative of you.
Like a little baby.
Yeah, and you, Justin, you weren't far off. They're known to be found in the forest regions of Canada, and the closest by would be far northeastern parts of Minnesota. Arrowhead in Minnesota.
I had porcupines in Brainerd often.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My dogs bit numerous porcupines in Brainerd.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're not smart.
All right.
Repeat offenders. Very dumb. Said to be smart dogs, not.
Right. Well, Roger, congratulations on winning one of our productive alternative rain gauges. If you want to hang on, our producer, Jacob, will get your information, and just feel free to stop by our studios during regular business hours to pick that up.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Awesome.
Great guess.
Thanks.
I didn't think anybody would get that today.
Again, for those that are just rejoining us, we were playing Guess the Sound. And we got another animal to join the zoo. It's a porcupine. That is what a porcupine can sound like.
All right, we're gonna have to find. I thought for sure that was.
I thought we were gonna roll that over.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
So what do we got? We've got all sorts of one. I'm gonna have to ask Jacob for the next random noise.
We didn't play the one. Remember?
We haven't played the one.
We haven't played that one. That'll be our next one. Whenever we have some extra time to give that away. So
we need to build our rain gauge army.
We do,
because
right.
There's actually rain in the forecast, technically.
And there is rain in the forecast. There's not a lot, but I know this is not good news for our ice anglers, especially
ice
with
fishing's done, guys. Sorry.
Nah, it's not done. We'll have cold weather, but boy, to get those big vehicles out there, this is not going to be safe after this stretch of warm weather, that's for sure. We've got temperatures currently right around the freezing mark to about 35. As you go west of the valley, temperatures approaching 40. We will see slow clearing here in the FM area after about 3 o'clock, and we should make it up close to 40, warmer to the west, cooler to the east, down into the 30s tonight, so we're not going to drop far. And then record warm temperatures tomorrow, highs close to 50, a little bit cooler in Lakes Country, and a little bit warmer out to our west. That will break the old record of 44 back in, I believe, 2009. And
yes.
Yeah, and then we'll cool it down a little bit, but still above normal for Thursday and Friday with highs around 40. We're in the 40s over the weekend, maybe a sprinkle or two of rain. Not looking like a lot around here. Most of that's going to be down to our south into South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas areas. And then we'll kind of mellow things out for the start of next week, still above normal temperatures. And then
what about 20 degrees above average still?
Still, yeah. I mean, even 40 degrees, that's 20 above average. Mm-hmm. And our normal low should be 0. And we're starting the morning
at 31?
Yeah, so we're 30 degrees above normal in the morning. That's just incredible. Now, the LRC calendar does have a storm for next week, anytime between about the 7th and 10th. And lo and behold, our models are just starting to pick up on this storm. A couple models have this splitting in two pieces. One of the models has it coming in as one whole one. And if you're wondering which storm this was on the LRC cycle, this is the one that hit us over Christmas. It was kind of an extended storm, lasted a few days, and that's the one that brought the ice storm out to the west and brought us our beneficial rains here. So this is the storm that we need to hit us in terms of moisture, because every other storm I think there was one other, I'll call it that wild card storm, that's going to bring us the precip. Every other storm has been weak. This is one of the bigger ones. So
weak sauce.
Yeah, we need this to hit us next week. I know many. We need it for the moisture. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that storm for next week. And then following that storm, it does look like we turn colder with a return to normal temperatures. Daytime highs probably teens, 20s, nighttime lows back down into the single digits. That will start. Now, I don't know if it's too late, but that should start to regenerate ice. And let's hope we can keep that cooler weather around for our ice anglers to kind of regenerate that ice and make that a little bit thicker. Mm-hmm. Then we can make everybody happy. That'll do it.
Funk.
And that'll do it for us here at Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
We are?
The Jay Thomas Show, which identifies as number 1. Of course it is. He's coming up next.